everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Daniela, for those of you who are new here. The reason I have brought you here today is for a question a lot of people have. The question is, what does my hair need? A lot of times I feel like there is a common misconception that whenever your hair feels abnormal, for lack of a better word, you just think it's dry and you think you need a moisturizing product, which I'm going to tell you right now is not the case. I've already spoken about this previously on my channel, but I just thought I'd recap it yet once again. A good way of finding out what your hair needs is kind of just looking at it after you style it normally and figuring out the small little things that you notice that are different. So a lot of times when your hair either looks or feels abnormal is because you either have a protein overload or a moisture overload. And in this video, I'm gonna go over really quick on how to identify these issues and how to solve these issues, because I, like many of you, have been there many times. So without further ado, let's hop right in. So now that we know that we may be experiencing either a protein overload or a moisture overload, let's figure out how to identify which one. So with a protein overload, that just means our hair is intaking a lot of protein without the moisture to balance it out. So you might be using a very protein-rich hair styler, cleansing products, or even too many hair treatments, and you haven't been using as many moisturizing treatments to kind of balance that out, which happens a lot in high porosity hair. I know a lot of times I used to overdo it with the protein because I was going through so many hair lightening treatments that I was kind of forgetting to balance out the protein with the moisturizing treatments and ended up in a protein overload and then followed by a moisture overload, but we'll get into that. If your hair is frizzy, but it's very like stringy, I feel like for me, a good way to distinguish that is, does my hair look frizzy as if I just walked out into a rainy day with my hair out, or does it look frizzy like if I've been sitting out in the sun all day? Which I hope we all know that these are two very different frizzies. One of them is a lot more kind of bushy and the other one's a lot more stringy. So if you've been experiencing very stringy frizz and your hair feels very dry, and if you try to stretch it, it doesn't stretch, it might just honestly break off, you may be experiencing a protein overload. In this case, you will need a lot more moisturizing agents in your hair products to balance that out. But before we even start adding those products in, I do recommend using a clarifier or a scalp treatment to kind of reset your hair. I personally feel like that helps me out a little bit more because you want to get rid of all the residue that's on your scalp and kind of just create a new environment for your hair to kind of flourish in. My favorite products to clarify with are the Curlsmith scalp recipe line. Those I feel like do a really good job of resetting my hair. Another more affordable option is the Real Raw shampoo, the apple cider vinegar shampoo and conditioner. That one I feel like is a little bit stronger, but the conditioner, I feel like, at least for me, it does kind of bring back the nourishment after using the shampoo. But those are two very good options that I like to use. There's obviously a lot more on the market. You can obviously try them out and see how you like them. But yeah, I like to reset my hair with a clarifying shampoo and conditioner and then start slowly adding in those moisturizing agents. A key thing to note is start bringing these products in gradually, but don't overdo it. So that brings me into the next topic. How do you know if you're experiencing a moisture overload? So a lot of times we tend to overcompensate for all the moisture that we've lost and start bringing in too many moisturizing agents without balancing the protein, and we end up in a moisture overload. Now, how do you identify a moisture overload? Your hair, this is when you have that very frizzy, almost fluffy kind of hair. It feels soft, but almost too soft. I know a lot of times we like the soft feeling in our hair because it's like very moisturizing, which is fine. But if you noticeably feel your hair a little softer than usual, and if you pull it, it's too elastic to the point that it might break, that's how you're experiencing a moisture overload. So take a strand of your hair and just tug on it gently and see if it's elastic, or at least more elastic than usual. If it is, you are experiencing a moisture overload. Now, we're pretty much gonna do the same. I hope you guys are catching on what we do here. So now that you know you are experiencing a moisture overload, now you wanna start gradually bringing in these protein products. Once again, we wanna clarify, kind of start with a clean slate, and maybe start using a protein treatment or a protein shampoo and conditioner, or maybe just protein styling products. But once again, we don't want to overdo it, because then we're going to end up in this endless cycle of protein overload, moisture overload, which I've been there literally all of 2021 trying to figure out my whole blonde situation. So I hope I explained that in the simplest way possible. I know I can kind of go off on tangents sometimes, but if you have any questions whatsoever, please leave them down in the comments down below, and I will try to get to them as soon as possible. And that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope this helped you, at least in the slightest. Once again, let me know in the comments down below if you have any further questions. I will gladly clarify those for you. You see what I did there? Clarify. Curly joke. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will be posting every Wednesday and Friday, guys. Huh? You like the schedule? And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!